Good morning, everyone, and we warmly welcome you to the webinar from Paper to Data. Thank you for reserving your time out of your busy schedules and taking time to join with this interesting webinar. To start off with, let me give you kind of a quick brief of what we are planning to like speak today. So when it comes to documents, like in a kind of very digital transformation way, so in the modern business world, I think documents are kind of a hectic process that we need to handle documents in a manual way. So when it comes to AI and automation, these manual document handling processes can be handled in effective way where you can save more in cost and where it will give you a significant business outcome when it comes to different industries. So to start off with, let me take you through the agenda. So we'll be discussing about the business problems and challenges that different industries facing based when it comes to manual document handling. And also we'll be introducing to document intelligence. And also we'll be walking you through why to choose ZILLIONe's document intelligence solutions. I also will be also talking about business outcomes that you can gain through these solutions. And also will be showcasing you like some of the use cases where we show you how you can apply AI and automation to drive these processes effectively. And last but not least, we'll be also showcasing you some of our data and AI solutions along with the FAQ session. So to start off with, let me quickly come to this point. I think before deciding on any solution, any product, the one question that you need to ask from yourself, like what's the current challenge that you are facing? So when it comes to manual document handling, manual document processing, manual data entry into systems, so what kind of current challenges that you all are facing? So some of the most common challenges as questions I have been included in this slide. So if we just go through one by one, so are we still relying on manual document handling? A kind of very good question, because I think majority of the companies right now in Sri Lanka and also in the global market, I think still this document handling process is not automated 100%. It's not automated entirely. So a question comes in, like, are we still relying on manual document handling? Yes. And do we manage large volumes of paper-based scanned files? I think when it comes to manufacturing, logistics, and more into production companies, I think it's a kind of a very big challenge that you all are facing at the moment. And when it comes to hard copies, right? Let's say if you take an invoice or a delivery note, right? So still we manage to get these as hard copies and like go through these documents one by one and to enter these data into a system manually. I think among the participants in today's webinar, there can be a set of participants where we could see where you all are currently going through this manual, this conventional process. So we'll be showcasing you like how to apply these solutions in a kind of a good way for you all to get out of it. So, and are things spending too much time on manual data entry? Yes, I think we can see it in our day-to-day life. And do we face errors, delays, and compliance risk? Of course, there has to be. And is information hard to find when needed? There can be a question on that as well. And do our systems lack automated data flow? So these are some of the common current challenges that we have experienced when we were talking to our customers. And apart from the ones that are given here, there can be more. So we have our chat open. So if you feel that you all are having challenges that are not listed in here, you can simply drop a message because we are here to address all of these questions, all of these current challenges with a kind of with a very lightweight solutions where you can automate this, you can get rid of manual processing, and you can simply, like be like can simply save your cost, and you can manage your time effectively. So if you have at least one of these current challenges, I think yes, document automation is a business necessity. So we are here to introduce our solution, document intelligence. So there can be different set of names, different wordings, and different phrases, clauses that we are using for these types of solutions. But I would use only three words where our solutions do three things in parallel. One is information extraction, storing the extracted data, and application integration. So I think one of the most common challenges that you all are facing right now is that you'll have multiple invoices, multiple scan copies coming in, and you have an entire team to like handle these documents and put all these data into your maybe an ERP or any other kind of a system manually. So with our solutions, we are not going to automate that only, but there are a set of other challenges that you can address through our solutions as well. But just to keep in mind, what we are focusing right now is how to extract this relevant data from these set of documents and how to store them within your storage locations, either it's a cloud or an on-prem location, and how to write this data, how to integrate this data to an application that you have. So I think it's kind of really simple way that I can explain how we address document intelligence as ZILLIOne. So I think let's move into the next slide where you will understand about how this process works. So I have a very small video for you to play. So you can simply go to this video so you can understand what I like. So for what I have explained, I'll be using this video for you all to brief it out there. So you can just look at it, have a look, watch it, and just try to get an idea of what our document intelligence solutions really offers you. So as you can see, the first part is extracting the data, storing it in a particular location, and from that location, we write it into a particular application. So it's not just limited to an invoice. You can either take a production planning or maybe a delivery note, or there can be other contracts coming in. So there can be different significant fields that you want to include in an application, basically write into an application. So when it comes to an invoice, so simply what we do is we extract all these necessary data and we populate it in a specified cloud, maybe a cloud or on-prem storage. And from there, we take this data into your precise applications. So it can be either ERP, it can be a payroll application, whatever the thing. So one thing about this is that you might have a question: do we need APIs? Like, what's the cost of like bringing all these solutions to implement? And like, what are the constraints that we have? I think nothing to be afraid of, nothing to be concerned of, because we have solutions, we have answers for all of your questions. But since we are at the beginning of the webinar, I'll slowly take you through each slide one by one for you to understand the entire process that we are trying to deliver to you throughout this webinar. So as a part of this video, what you'll see here is that the data has been extracted from a So the invoices are there and we are populating that data into a SharePoint or whatever the location that you have. right? And whatever location that you have, you write it in the application. You can simply go to this video. So I'll give you kind of a few more minutes for you all to understand the entire process through the video. So as you can see, so we have the application and we have automated flow coming in. So all this extracted data is being written into a ERP, CRM, or whatever the application that you want. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to drop your questions into the chat. So we can answer these questions at the end of the session, by the way. So the next question that you have, why do we need to choose Zillion document intelligence? Good question. So when it comes to different vendors, different solution providers, I think the major concern that you have is the cost. And there are several constraints when it comes to integrating with external systems. So while we take you through the use cases in the coming slides, let me explain you why you need to choose resilient document intelligence. So first of all is that there will be no APIs that will be requiring when it comes to integrating with external systems, because right now what we are doing is we are extracting the data, populating in a specified location, and we are just writing it directly to an application. So no APIs are required at all. So if you had a question of, you had a concern where uh, you feel like, do we need APIs to integrate with our systems? Not actually, not really. And low operational cost, because when it comes to APIs, then there's another cost, like that you have to handle cost for API implementations, and there are other configurations that you have to do in parallel for that. So when it comes to our solution, it's a very low operational cost, and we'll be charging only the implementation cost, apart from the other applicable costs when it comes to licensing and other. And when it comes to improved business agility, yes, you will see that by your own eyes when it comes to when we're showcasing our use cases. And precision and accuracy, definitely. So faster decision cycles, low operational costs, no APIs, precision, business agility. So I think all your current challenges, all the problems that you have is being solved, is being, like it's being identified and answered within this slide. So I think Zillion document integration will take you to the next level of handling manual processes that are currently going through your organization or your company. So next, we have the business outcomes. I think the most important topic that we need to discuss when it comes to businesses, when it comes to enterprise. So since we have a kind of a very massive participants here, and among those, I think we have some enterprise clients as well. I think business outcome is a major concern. So without talking too much, I would like to invite Mr. Andrew Collis, Director, Data and AI, Zillion Technologies, for you all to explain, briefly discuss about the business outcomes, and he will exactly explain you why you should go ahead with Zillion document intelligence. So Enrico, all over to you.
Thank you, Sonali. And I hope I'm coming through. Great. So let's quickly go through some of the business outcomes. We saw the challenges and stuff like that. So the first business outcome is to have the data where it belongs, right? Not on paper, not on unstructured documents, but real time in the system so that decisions can be made faster. then we can have all the operations move without friction. We'll take some examples later. So this is the first kind of a business outcome that we want to have. The second outcome that we want to have is visibility into what actually drives outcomes. So it could be a cost outcome. It could be different outcomes that we want, and this is what we want to do. Like if you take, for instance, we did a similar solution to a company that was heavy in logistics. They are not a logistics company, but logistics is needed in manufacturing. So they were just entering the header values into the ERP system on the AP, and they didn't actually see what their cost drivers were. But when we went through this system and we captured all the granular level items, they understood that they were paying far too much to the vendor who was doing the logistics. So when it comes to identifying those and seeing where the drivers are there, you can actually have better business outcomes. And that is what we want to have. Not only just an automation, why are we doing this and what is the outcomes that we are going to have? So we'll see a few more examples when we go through. So let's see what we were talking about, like say the hidden charges, visible cost drivers, the supply negotiations. Even if you can save 1% of your total logistic cost, I'm sure at CEO levels, CXO levels, they will be wanting to have these kind of engagements. When it comes to manufacturing, on proactive maintenance, on document, on downtimes, what if you can do that better from the data that you capture and plan and get a higher throughput? What is the impact on the entire business? So if you take education industry, I think there are a few here already. You will see like, how do you get the top candidates into your system so that as soon as they apply, you qualify them and you give them an offer so that there are lesser dropouts and it doesn't impact your revenue. Not what you have in the first semester, you'll have the same amount in your second semester, third semester until the end of the year. When it comes to healthcare and insurance, starting from validation of the data, uh, how insurance and how hospitals do stuff, right? So you can quickly remove all those things if you capture all that data, reduce that bin overhead, and improve outcomes to everyone, right? In the financial services and regulatory, I don't think there is much to talk about here. The faster verification, stronger compliance, investor confidence, and a higher share of wallet because of that. So without not only getting like say 1% of the wallet, but how can we get a wallet share of a bigger by giving these solutions to our customers? So as you can see, these are all different industries and different documents, but the same root problem that we have: unstructured information, either reaching the system late or sometimes never reaching a system that can, make decisions that you can make decisions from. So these are some of the business benefits that we want to do. And when you all say that you all have a problem and you all would like to automate, this is where we start. We want to exactly know how this is going to help the business get an outcome. It's not faster data or we can reduce manpower or something like that. What is it really driving? So this is one of the topics that we take when we will have the chats with you later. So this is the other question that comes, okay, what is the image quality requirements if you want to do data capture? So in this example, I just want to show you a few things just to show the document quality. Like if you take the passport, it's not even straight. And anyone who has gone for a visa application, you know how much they ask you to rotate, crop, uh, resize the image and put. But in our solutions, we train our models to perfection that you can capture information from even an obscured or image like on that passport. If you take the next example is an education certificate. So if a student or whoever uploads an education certificate, we can extract all those details and digitize it so that no one has to enter it and stuff like that. So, but it could be a standard template. So it could be education, it could be utilities, it could be anything. So standard templates also we can get it and convert it into data. The final one is a NIC. So everybody has customer onboarding. So NIC is a critical thing. But here, what I want you to look at it is you can see a screen in the background and how far the image is from the camera. But our models can collect it. So if you had a doubt, what's the quality that is needed? will the system be throwing out errors because we didn't, scan the documents really great, or, some marks on the document or anything like that? No, we can train our models to really bring that data out. So what I'll do is I'll share uh, some examples. And the first example, I believe, Sonal, you can take.
Yes. I think the business benefits, the business outcomes were clearly explained, well explained. So I think if you had any doubt related to what Enrico said, I think you might have now clear understanding of what set of expectations that you can have on our solutions. So I'll show you the first use case. So this is a solution that we have done where we automate the invoice data extraction from image, and we store it in specified location, and we bring that to a particular application. So I'll just play the video, and you can see you have these subtitles going down there. So please take your time. You can just go through the entire video. So after that, I'll explain what's exactly is happening within the use case. So as you can see, what happens is we have a SharePoint document library, and we are uploading our invoice images to the document library. So as you can see, so we have a set of invoices. So from the invoice, the highlighting fields are being extracted through an API. So down there, you can see from the table also, we are taking some of the items which are related to transportation and other demanding cost. And from the bottom, we are taking the total cost as well. So what happens is once you upload this invoice images into document library, so it will automatically trigger the it will trigger flow where it will extract the relevant data from the invoices, and it will populate those extracted data in the document library itself. So once it's done, so the next step will be to write it into a specific application. So right now we have here the Sage ERP. So what happens is all the extracted records will be written into the ERP form as individual sets. So you can see the entire process is automated, no human intervention at all. So you can see all the records, all the extracted fields are being written in the exact field given in the form. So the same process will keep iterating until all the records are being entered into the ERP application. So the best part of this is there can be instances where you want to see the status of the record getting like written into the application. So during the data extraction and during the data writing into an application, the entire statuses are being tracked inside the document library. So the best part is this is not limited to SharePoint list. So there can be other storage platforms that you want to bring this one. So we can come up with the same thing. So what we are trying to showcase you here is that so the entire process, if you want to handle this through a manual processing, so it will take you around it will take you days and weeks, right? But with a single solution like this, with a lightweight solution like this, you can simply upload the invoices and you just sit and wait, because it's going to do the entire extraction and application ingestion by its own. So I think this solution is a kind of very basic solution that we have, and I hope that you all have got an understanding of what exactly the document intelligence that we are providing is capable of. So, moving into the next use case, I'll be handing over to Enrico again.
So in this example, it's a very unique use case, again done for one of our customers, and a demo of that is provided for you all. So here what we want to do is the scanned documents, sometimes you need it for further processing. For instance, it could be a delivery note and the customer has a complaint of, okay, uh, even though you all say it's delivered, it's not delivered. And you need to go to the physical document, how much ever you have data in the system, it doesn't matter because signatures and everything are there. So this customer, what he wanted to do is, say, if you take one delivery note, it may be 5 pages, 10 pages, 20 pages. He wants them all combined into one image and stored with the delivery note numbers, invoice number, customer number, all those metadata that is there in them to be put into a particular folder structure. So here also it's a very similar process. It's a bit fine. So similarly, all the documents get loaded, and then we'll extract in metadata, like, the delivery note number, the client number, whatever it is. This is just an example here. It could be an insurance claim. It could be some other document. It doesn't matter, right? Let's go through it. So we organize the folder structures because this is a complete document management or document access kind of a thing. So we bring all the documents from the source folder and we get all the data. We rename the documents, and then we go and put it in the destination folder. However, if there are anything that we cannot process, we will go and put it in a quarantine folder, as well as we will archive all the documents to an archived folder. And this is up to you all. You all can tell how you want it. So these are the kind of extents that we can go through when we are doing these kind of solutions. Yeah, so that's one more use case that we have that we thought is useful, since still you need to go to physical kind of data when you have inquiries, complaints, and so on. If you all have questions, definitely drop it in the chat and we will try to take it in the Q&A session. Then this is something that always comes to us on what about handwritten data. So we can do handwritten data, and this is one example that you have. So this is, I believe, a production output. And you know how it gets written. It gets written, it gets cut, it gets rewritten, and no one actually enters this at the end of the day. So there can be multiple pages. There can be blank cells, cut cells, handwritten. All these complications are there when it comes to a document like this. However, with the proper training of the models, we can extract that data. And what we do is, for some reason, if we cannot actually figure out, the accuracy of the data that we took, we will highlight it. So a red cell would mean that, okay, we really need your view on this, check it with the manual document. The yellow would be okay. Maybe not 100% sure, maybe 80% sure, but please check. So these interfaces will bring those extracted data in, and you can edit it if needed before sending, if you feel the accuracy is not enough. And then yeah, we can put that data into an ERP or an Excel. It doesn't matter where you are, onto a form or through an API. So we will capture what is there on the form that is physically or printed, which is there as edited, which is there as handwritten, and also which is there as edited by a human before sending it into the system. So all those kind of things we can do on the AI-powered extraction of handwritten data. Of course, if there are things in like singular letters, it's difficult to get, but for numbers and everything, it's really a really well suited solution. However, this should not be your test case as a POC or something like that. I'm sure there are so many other business problems that we need to solve before coming to a use case like this. So the customers who actually started with handwritten data and who are using this actually experimented with handwritten data, but they found much more business impacting solutions to implement document extraction solutions. So this is kind of the third example that we have. Yeah. And then with that, I will go on to some of the other data and AI solutions that we have.
So if you have any questions, actually we can give you a few more minutes for you all, like unmute yourself and ask from us. If not, you can drop it in the chat. You can drop it in the chat if you have any questions. So far, what we have discussed is about document intelligence. So the core idea of this webinar is document intelligence. So moving into the rest of the slides, I would like to, like if you have any questions, you can please drop it in the chat. So Enrico, what you?
So let's go on to, we'll take the quick Q&A at the Q&A session. So other solutions that we do custom Power BI dashboards. We do forecasting and machine learning solutions. So it could be churn, sales, whatever that you have. We have agentic AI solutions where our agents make decisions on behalf of you, run workflows and stuff like that. And of course, Power Apps to extend your applications where when your tier one ERPs, can't accommodate those or there are licensing costs involved with that. So without taking too much things into that, we also have a consultancy engagements that we have. So what we have found out during the last year or 1.5 years of working is still it is difficult for a company to decide where best to put their money at. So what we do is we offer consultancy services where we help CXOs decide where AI should sit in the organization. So for company A, it might be in manufacturing part, in the production part, in somebody else's solution, it may be in the sales part, right? So different people have different things, even if you're coming from the same industry. So we want to see what are the AI solutions that will transform your organization before we even talk about what are the tools, what are the budgets, what are the pilots that we need to run. So what we do is we do a requirement discovery session with our clients, and we will figure out what are the platforms and tech. And we also propose sometimes non-Microsoft platforms, non-Microsoft tech, because in the consultancy, the whole engagement is how the client can get the best value. And then we will come into a solution blueprinting. And with the solution blueprint, you can go to any other partner if you want, or you can come to us for the deployment or implementation of that solution. But as a consultancy engagement, you will get any of these three things where we will work with you, work with your team. So currently we have like 3 engagements where we are doing requirement discovery for central data storages. We wouldn't call it a data lake because one customer actually decided to go with on-prem SQL because they didn't want to invest in kind of very expensive solutions, but they found that okay, they can get more business value by taking the first step on-prem database, and that's fine by us. Right? And it wasn't even a Microsoft SQL database, so that's fine as long as it works for that company. We are really great to help them out finding their solutions. So these are some of the examples of the stuff that we have. So Power Apps, we have model-driven apps, Canvas apps. These are done for like, gate pass systems, petty cache systems, field sales service. So there's a company, Petrochem, they use it for field sales to capture the sales from when they go to their outlets and the dealers. We have Power BI dashboards, of course, different dashboards that drive different conversations. And we bring data from multiple systems. These are not on a single system or a single module, so that we can present a unified, correct picture to the organization. And on agentic AI, so chat with your data has been a big question, but we have been doing it for some years now. So this is actually a system, a chat agent that works with the CRM as well as the ERP. So if I ask, so if I'm the chief sales officer and I ask, okay, what is the revenue? I can ask what is the revenue that we have booked in our invoices so far, as well as what are the open opportunities that I can have. So then I know, okay, my financial year, this much is what I've booked. This is what I have. Do I need to run a marketing campaign? Do I need to do discounting? Do I need to do anything else? Without looking at a dashboard, I can, start analyzing my data here. And of course, we have like forecasting and prediction solutions. So I'll just uh, show you a graph on that. So we can see your past, the future, and it's like a playground where it helps planners plan the future. So main idea is to have sufficient stock, not to overstock and stuff like that if it's a demand planning or a demand forecasting solution. And these don't need typical integration. We bring data from the ERP, we store it, and then we process it and give back the details out. So this is another solution that we have. So with that, I think it's coming to the time of winding up the sessions. So I will go through a quick FAQ because these are the questions that people ask us when we meet them in person. So what is the cost of the solution? So a typical implementation will start from anything about $2,000. And the cost drivers are, the types of documents you have, the complexity of the templates, if you require integration. Of course, while we say no API, if you have an API, very comfortable uh, passing that information through an API. But if not, we can work with the workstation that has that screen, any custom workflows that you have. And of course, we'll have to have a final kind of a pricing to be confirmed only after a discovery session. The second is, okay, from a additional licensing cost or a licensing cost, how it does. This is done on the Microsoft platform using Azure AI Document Intelligence. So here it's $30 per 1,000 pages of cost. So it's not very costly. Uh, and you can see the outcomes that could come. So the other question is, where is the data stored? So data stored is completely in your tenant. There is no data coming to ZILLIOne or outside of your tenant. So you're 100% guaranteed that whatever the security policies, principles, DLPs that are implemented will be safeguarded through this solution. So that's about it. Let's take some of the Q&A questions that we have. Yeah. So first question, this application is fine. The relevant GL accounts. Yeah, so that we can do. So if you look at the logistics solution that we have, yes, there are different cost accounts. So that we have kind of a Excel document that has the GL accounts for different items or different cost categories, different cost centers. So those can come in if there are any of like that too, some kind of categorization that you want. Then we also have like, batch numbers and stuff like that, which all are done within the application so that, data can go onto that screen that you saw. So are the models you're using built ground up and deployed on premise, or are you leveraging existing version language models as part? So we start with a core module or core model that has been developed not by us but by someone else. But what we do is we do the model training and the fine tuning to suit our data, and that's why you would have seen in the first screens that we showed you. If you just put those data into a standard model, you're not going to get anything much. But as we showed you with regard to the passport, ID, and so on, these models are done extremely well, trained extremely well to capture all that data. But we don't do those model building. We bring model and we fine tune them. Yeah, so can application only extract data from English or application? Yeah, so this is a important question. When it comes to single-hand Tamil, with regard to document extraction, we don't support at the moment single-hand Tamil letters on the document. Sorry, but if you all really have kind of a big kind of requirement, we can check it out. But we have not kind of gone into areas for document intelligence. However, if you look at our agents, our agents are capable of multi-language. So if somebody is chatting with an agent, they can chat in their native language, maybe Sinhala or Tamil. request the answer to come in English, or either cross language. You can chat with the agents, but not for document intelligence. Okay, can the application calculate handwritten data? So handwritten data, I think we showed you one example on production planning. So the planned values were there and the actuals were hand captured. So once we capture the data, definitely if there is any formulas, anything to run, definitely we can do that. So if you take uh, handwritten capturing is that example, and in the same way, if you look at in our other solutions like tax calculations, those kind of things, we can run once the data has been captured.
Yes. Ah, yes. Ah, ah, ah.
Yeah. And if you all want to, express yourself without being, tied to typing a question and you want to explain something and ask, please unmute your mic and you can ask if needed. Super. So since I believe there are no more questions, so when you look at, I'll just give a small summary as to what we do. So if you have anything with regard to kind of data, AI, automation, it doesn't matter whether the platform is on Microsoft or elsewhere. We have a lot of solutions. Unfortunately, since this is a document intelligence webinar, we can't show you those. We will invite you to our other webinars that we have that maybe like on agentic automation. And today, what we look at is when you look at agentic automation, we are not looking at just one agent, but a solution of agents sitting together to give a solution. So if you go to our website, there's Ask Zillion button. If you press that Ask Zillion button, you can chat with an AI agent. It will try to answer as much as possible that that the agent is programmed to handle. And when it cannot, it will escalate it to a human. So what we do is we have about 10 or 15 WhatsApp numbers at Zillion. So based on the product and the solutions that the customer was chatting, we will select the appropriate product manager and transfer that entire transcript to a product manager. So then what happens is the product manager gets in touch, and there are multiple agents inside to help the product manager do maybe a quotation and send it then and there, to find product availability and answer then and there. Remind the particular person that, okay, there was a call from them, but you have not got back. Create the leads pipeline. So that entire sales process from end to end, from the first customer interaction to sending a quote and following it up on it, is completely done through agentic AI. So if you all have solutions like that, so like 6, 7 months, 1 year ago, we had simple solutions like IT agents, HR agents, very role-based agents, but today we have entire process-based agents. Similarly, internally, we use a tender agent where you drop a tender and RFP. It will give you all the information, which department it should go to. It will create a SharePoint list, make follow-ups, and ensure that that tender reaches the client at the correct time with all the things done. So like that entire business processes today we can automate with agentic AI. Just wanted to put it out there, since if you all have those requirements, do reach out to us.
So I believe the webinar, it's all about document intelligence, but we are not limited to just one solution. So as Enrico mentioned, we are into a diverse selection of solutions, which includes agents, Power Apps, Power BI. So it's about AI agents and automation. So I think kind of very insightful session. Thank you so much, Enrico, and thank you for all the participants for attending for today's webinar. So as the final step, so if you feel that these solutions will help to make a business impact in your organization. So please feel free to contact us through the given emails. And also, you can simply go to our website, and you can simply drop a message through our info@zillion.com as well. So, last but not least, thank you so much once again for joining. And in the meantime, we'll be also sharing a feedback survey with you all, so you can provide your feedback on today's webinar. And apart from that, if you feel, as I said, as I mentioned before, if you feel that you have a requirement, and if you feel that there's a business problem that you all are currently facing, and if you feel that we can solve that problem for you all, you can come to us. So thank you once again. Thank you so much. And we look forward to see you all in our upcoming webinars and workshop sessions as well. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.